Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to talk about magnetic declination and dip. Before discussing about these two terms, magnetic declination and dip, let us define two other terms. One is geographic meridian, another one is magnetic meridian. Geographic meridian at any place, it is actually an imaginary vertical plane passing through the geographic north and south of the earth. That is, geographic meridian, it is actually an imaginary vertical plane passing through the geographic axis. In the previous video, we have actually discussed about geographic axis and magnetic axis of earth. So, this black colored one is the geographic axis of the earth. Okay, this is the geographic north and this is the geographic south direction. And this brown colored one, this represents the magnetic axis of the earth. Okay, now if you are considering a vertical plane, an imaginary vertical plane, okay, it is an imaginary one. There is no one such a real one there. So, if you are considering a vertical plane which is passing through the geographic axis. Okay, this one is the geographic axis. Now, if you are considering a vertical plane, okay, vertical plane which is passing through this geographic axis, that vertical plane is actually called as what? Geographic meridian. Alright. Now, magnetic meridian, it is also an imaginary vertical plane passing through the magnetic north and south poles of the earth. That is, magnetic meridian is actually an imaginary vertical plane passing through the magnetic axis. So, this one is the magnetic axis of the earth. If you are considering a vertical plane, okay, not a horizontal one. If you are considering a vertical plane which is passing through this magnetic north and south poles of the earth. That is, which is passing through the magnetic axis of the earth. Such a plane is actually called as magnetic meridian. Okay. Now, the angle between the geographic meridian and the magnetic meridian at a place is actually called as the magnetic declination or simply declination, which is represented by capital letter D. Okay, the angle between geographic meridian and the magnetic meridian, that angle is actually called as magnetic declination or simply declination, represented by the letter capital letter D. Let this PQRS be the magnetic meridian. Okay, magnetic meridian. This MM stands for magnetic meridian. Okay, magnetic meridian is actually the vertical plane which is passing through this magnetic axis. Right. So, let this PQRS be the magnetic meridian and PONS. Let this PONS, let this vertical plane be the geographic meridian. Okay, PQRS is the magnetic meridian. So, it is a vertical plane. Okay, it is a imaginary vertical plane passing through the magnetic axis. Now, let this PONS, this dotted line, okay, PONS, okay, this surface, this vertical plane, let it be the geographic meridian. Let it be the vertical plane which is passing through the geographic axis. Okay, so here we have magnetic meridian and we have this geographic meridian. And the angle between geographic meridian and the magnetic meridian, that angle is called as what? Magnetic declination. So, this angle, that is angle between geographic meridian and the magnetic meridian, this angle is called as angle of declination, capital letter D. Okay, this angle of declination varies from place to place. The declination is greater at higher latitudes and smaller near the equator. The declination in India is small, it being 0 degree 41 minute east at Delhi and 0 degree 58 minute west at Mumbai. Thus, at both these places, a magnetic needle, that is a magnetic needle in a magnetic compass, shows the true north quite accurately. True north means, that means actually when we usually use a magnetic compass, here I have a magnetic compass, okay, I hope you can see it clearly. I have a magnetic compass here and you see this a needle there, you can see the magnetic needle there. So when we usually use a magnetic compass, the needle points, okay, when we usually use a magnetic compass, the needle points along the Earth's magnetic north and south direction, not exactly along the Earth's geographic north-south directions. Okay, when we usually use a magnetic compass, the needle in the magnetic compass, it points along the Earth's magnetic north and south direction. Okay, not along the Earth's geographic north and south directions. So, the declination, since the declination in India is small, it being 0 degree 41 minute east at Delhi and 0 degree 58 minute west at Mumbai, at both these places, the magnetic needle, that is the needle in the magnetic compass, shows true north quite accurately. Okay, usually it doesn't point along the Earth's magnetic, it doesn't point along the Earth's geographic north and south directions. It points along the magnetic north-south directions. But at these two places, since the declination, magnetic declination is very small, at these two places, the magnetic needle in the magnetic compass shows true north quite accurately. For example, just think we are in a very dense forest and we want to go to the geographic north direction. Imagine we have a compass with us and we are making use of that compass to determine the direction. Okay, because we want to go towards the geographic north direction. Let at that particular place where we are in the very dense forest, the needle points along this direction. Okay, because we already discussed about geographic axis and the magnetic axis. Okay, geographic axis and the magnetic axis. Alright, so here the magnetic needle, it actually points along the magnetic axis. It actually points along the Earth's magnetic north and south directions, not along the Earth's geographic north and south directions. Okay, so this one is the Earth's geographic north and south directions. So obviously this one will be the east and this one will be the west. Now, the magnetic compass needle, that will align along the Earth's magnetic north and magnetic south directions. Okay, the north pole will be, it will be pointing towards this direction and south pole will be pointing towards this direction. Because we have already discussed that the north magnetic pole, it is actually behaving like a south pole of a magnet, and the magnetic south pole, it actually behaves like a north pole of a magnet. So magnetic compass needle will align along the magnetic axis, that is not along the geographic north and south direction. It will point along, along the Earth's magnetic north and south direction. Okay, now let this angle, okay, is actually 13 degree. Okay, let this angle be 13 degree. That is actually the angle of declination. Okay, let this angle be 13 degree. So this angle is 13 degree west of north. Okay, we will say this angle is 13 degree west of north. We want to go towards the geographic north. Okay, that is along this direction. But the needle gives us a direction which is not the true north. Needle gives us a direction like this. Okay, but the true north is somewhere here. Okay, so the magnetic needle in the magnetic compass is not giving us the true north. So what should we do to know the true north direction? Magnetic needle points along this direction. That is, it is pointing along the magnetic north and south directions. Okay, it is not pointing along the actual, the geographic north and south direction. We want to go towards the geographic north, but the magnetic needle is pointing along this direction by making 13 degree angle here. Okay, that is, this angle is 13 degree west of north. Okay, we want to go towards the, true north. So what should we do here? To go to the true north direction, we should move 13 degree in the opposite direction. Right, that is along this direction. Right, we want to go towards the geographic north, but the magnetic compass needle will give us, that will not be giving us the true north direction. Most of the times it will be pointing along the magnetic north pole and magnetic south pole of the earth, and the angle between them we have just taken it as 13 degree. So if you want to go towards the actual, the geographic north direction, we should move 13 degree. We should direct ourselves by 13 degree along this direction, and then we can just go forward. Okay, and since the declination in India is small, that is 0 degree 41 minute east at Delhi and 0 degree 58 minute west at Mumbai. That is this declination, it is very small. Here it is 13 degree, but at Delhi and Mumbai, it is 0 degree 41 minute east and 0 degree 58 minute west. Okay, at Delhi and Mumbai respectively. So, since the angle of declination is very small at Delhi and Mumbai, the magnetic needle shows the true north quite accurately. Okay, the magnetic needle almost will be, it will be almost aligning along the the true geographic north and south directions. Okay. Next, we are going to discuss about angle of dip or inclination. We have already discussed about angle of declination, which was represented by capital letter D. Now we are going to discuss about angle of dip, or which is also called as, also known as inclination, which is represented by capital letter I. When a magnetic needle is suspended freely, it can rotate about a horizontal axis, and the needle would make an angle with the horizontal. That angle is actually known as angle of dip or inclination. That is, for example, let this PQRS be the magnetic meridian. We have discussed about magnetic meridian as well as geographic meridian. So let this PQRS be the magnetic meridian, and PONS, this dotted one, PONS, this plane, let it be the geographic meridian. Now, the angle between the geographic meridian and the magnetic meridian, that is this angle, that is known as angle of declination, represented by capital letter D. Now, when a magnet is freely suspended, it will rotate first. You might have noticed. It will rotate first and it will align in a particular direction. That is, it will lie in the magnetic meridian. Okay, let the magnetic needle lies along this direction, or it aligns along this direction. So this dotted line one now, let the magnetic needle aligns in this direction. Okay, now this angle, that is magnetic needle aligns, it lies in the magnetic meridian and it aligns in a particular direction like this. It makes some angle here. This angle, it is actually called as angle of dip or angle of inclination, represented by capital letter I. That is, this needle, this is actually representing the alignment of the needle. Okay, so magnetic needle aligns in the magnetic meridian along this direction, and the needle makes some angle here in the magnetic meridian. That angle is actually known as angle of inclination or angle of dip or inclination. The needle, that is, the needle lies like this. Okay, the needle aligns in this particular direction. The needle lies in the magnetic meridian along this direction, that is like this, along this direction. That is, we can take the net or total magnetic field of the earth along this direction. So let the total magnetic field or the net magnetic field of the earth be vector BE. Okay, so I am considering the total magnetic field or the net magnetic field of the earth as vector BE, because magnetic field, it is a vector quantity, no? Okay, now the total magnetic field vector BE at a particular point that can be resolved into a horizontal component as well as a vertical component. That you have already studied in 11th standard, no, in vectors and all. That is, if we have a vector like this, we can resolve this vector into two components, one x component as well as one y component. Right. So similarly here, the magnetic needle aligns in this direction. That means the net magnetic field is along this direction. Okay, the total magnetic field of the earth is along this direction, and let it be vector BE. Now, this magnetic field of the earth that can be resolved into two components, one horizontal component and one vertical component. Okay, so let the horizontal component of this earth's magnetic field, okay, horizontal component of this earth's magnetic field as HE, and let the vertical component of earth's magnet, that is, we are resolving this vector. Okay, so it can be resolved into one horizontal component and one vertical component. Let the horizontal component of earth's magnetic field as HE, and let the vertical component be ZE. Okay, now this horizontal component of magnetic field HE can be written as what? BE, horizontal component, no? So BE cos I. Right, that is, for example, if you are considering, okay, this angle as 90, or if you are taking this, okay, you can take anywhere, you can take a triangle. If I am taking this triangle, this angle can be taken as 90. Then when I am taking cos I here, cos I is equal to adjacent side by hypotenuse. So adjacent side means, if it is 90, then this is hypotenuse. Then adjacent side means HE, horizontal component. So HE divided by hypotenuse is what? BE. Okay, so HE is equal to BE cos I. Okay, so the horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field can be written as HE is equal to BE cos I. Similarly, the vertical component of Earth's magnetic field, that is ZE, will be equal to what? Vertical component, no? So BE sin I. Okay, that is, for example, if I am taking this triangle, okay, this angle can be taken as 90. If this angle is I, what about this angle? This will be 90 minus I, because total this angle is 90. So this will be 90 minus I. Now, if I am calculating cos of 90 minus I here, what would be that? Cos of 90 minus I is equal to, cos theta is equal to adjacent side by hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is BE, adjacent side is ZE. So ZE divided by hypotenuse BE. Okay, what is cos of 90 minus I? That is sin I, no? So sin I is equal to ZE divided by BE. So what about ZE? BE into sin I. Okay, so we got the horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field, and we got the expression for the vertical component of Earth's magnetic field. So here, the angle that vector BE makes with vector HE, okay, this horizontal component, the angle that BE makes with the HE, that angle is actually what? Angle of dip. Okay, this horizontal component, that is, we usually write like this, no? For example, vector A can be written as x component of AX into I cap plus AY into J cap. Similarly, this vector BE can be resolved into two components, one horizontal component and one vertical component. And the angle that the Earth's magnetic field makes with the horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field, that angle is called as what? Angle of dip I, or inclination I. So we can say that angle of dip is the angle that the total magnetic field BE of the Earth makes with the surface of the earth. Okay, horizontal component. So, surface of the earth. Now, to describe the magnetic field of the earth at a point on its surface, we need to specify three quantities. One is angle of declination D, another one is angle of dip I, and another one is horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field He. These three are known as elements of the Earth's magnetic field. Now, I am taking this as equation number 1 and I am taking this as equation number 2. That is expression for horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field as equation number 1 and considering the vertical component of Earth's magnetic field as equation number 2. Okay, now if I am dividing equation number 2 with equation number 1, what will be getting? That is ZE divided by HE, H suffix E. Okay, horizontal component, H suffix E means horizontal component of Earth's magnetic field. Z suffix E means vertical component of Earth's magnetic field equal to BE sin I, B suffix E, sin I divided by B suffix E cos I. Okay, this BE and this BE can be cancelled now. Sin I by cos I. Sin I by cos I is tan I. Okay, so we can write one expression. Tan I will be equal to what? ZE divided by HE. Alright. Okay, we have taken this as equation number 1 and this as equation number 2. Then equation number 2 divided by equation number 1 will give you tan I. That is tan I is equal to ZE divided by HE. So in this video, we have actually discussed about geographic meridian, magnetic meridian, then magnetic declination and angle of dip or inclination. And we have discussed about the elements of Earth's magnetic field too. I hope you understood the concept. Thank you.